We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is, but our culture has shifted and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style, where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Welcome back to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living. I'm always glad that you're hanging out with me each week, but this week I'm excited that you guys are hanging out. I'm super excited because this week is a little bit unconventional. It's a little bit not traditional, and it's definitely not what we normally do. Are you curious? All right, here's what's been happening. If you are new here, hey, I'm Danny. I am the owner of Fig and Farm at Home here at the podcast. I have a Facebook group, Design 101. I have an online design school, Design 101. You can check that out. I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. But ultimately, I stopped teaching years ago to stay home with my babies. And this is what I'm doing nowadays is teaching all of you how to design your home. Now, for a year, I have been sitting behind my mic and I have been talking to you about how you can create space, how you can make things a little bit more functional for you, how you can do different things in order to make your home reflect you. And when I'm talking to you, I'm not showing you a whole lot. If you're part of my Facebook group, you get to see behind the scenes. You get to see real life examples. If you are part of my newsletter, you get to see some pictures here and there. But oftentimes it is just me talking to you, but not this week. This week, I am doing a continuation of the last little mini series we did, Where to Start. And I'm doing it in my own home so that I can illustrate to you several things. One is how to go through the design process. Another is the power of understanding what your own design aesthetic is. Another thing is how to be confident in learning new skills and DIYing a whole heck of a lot. And the other is so that you can hopefully be inspired and finally understand that real design can happen with not a whole lot of money. What is my budget? $400. What are my plans? I've got big plans for my laundry room. Building things, flooring, walls. I'm tearing down things. I am creating new space where it wasn't super functional before, and I'm doing it all on my own. I am having behind the scenes tutorials from Mr. Fig and Farm, who is a master builder, and I am not, but these are skills that I would like to learn. So he is giving me behind the scenes insight into how to do things the way that he would do it rather than the way that I would do it. And then I would have to redo it until I got it right. But what I want to inspire all of you to do is think about starting. 3 weeks ago, we talked about any number of you being on the continuum of starting, and you could be in any one of three places. So 3 weeks ago, we talked about those of you who are stuck with the belief or the mindset that you don't deserve a home that you love coming home to. You don't feel like having a home that is lovely and warm and cozy and nice. And these are all generic terms. So you fill in the blank of whatever it is that is holding you back, but you feel like you can't have those things because you have kids and the kids are going to mess it up. The kids are messy, or your husband and you don't agree on things, or you think it costs too much, or whatever it is that's holding you back, you are stuck in the firmness of inaction. So if you are there, I want you to pause. I want you to go back and listen 3 weeks ago to that episode. But then we moved on to further down the continuum of starting, and we talked to those of you who are ready. You are super pumped. You have all kinds of inspiration. You might have clipped out some pictures from HGTV magazine. You might have rewatched episode after episode of your favorite design show because you're super inspired by this one image. You may have saved just a little bit of money in order to make the change. You know what room you want to do, and now you are literally asking the question, but where do I start? Literally, what do I do first? Tell me, I want the roadmap. And we talked about that for all of you. And the spoiler alert for actually any of you on this journey of creating a home that you love, creating a space that you love, even if you are a renter. We talked about the very first thing and the most important thing that you can be doing now is learning what your design aesthetic is. So many of us don't really understand what that means, and it is super nuanced. It is not global. It is not farmhouse. It is not traditional. It is not nautical. It is not coastal grandma. It is not any of those big names that we are so familiar with. It is you, Nancy. It is you, Nellie. It is you, Sarah. It is you, Rhonda. It is you, Janae. It is all of you specifically. Those of you who are listening, your design aesthetic is unique to you. Just like my design aesthetic is unique to me. And what's so powerful about understanding what your design aesthetic is it gets you unstuck from so many things. It helps you shop and make decisions with confidence. It helps you understand how you can go into a store or look at different images and think, I like this and this and this, and I can appreciate all of these different things, these different styles, but those I'm going to leave for someone else because they're not quite me. This right here, that is me. That's what your design aesthetic does. When you understand what it is, when you hone in on that, you can make really confident choices really efficiently. You stop buying and returning, buying and returning because you get it home. You think you like it, you get it home, and then you realize, oh shoot, not that one. That one's not the one. I don't know what is the one, but that one is not the one. You are understanding of what it is that creates a cohesive color palette because you constantly choose the same colors, the same design elements over and over and over again. This is the power of understanding your aesthetic. And you can learn that in my course, Pinterest 101. You can also learn it on your own. Absolutely. You can walk that road. You can learn what it is that you gravitate to over and over again. But I've wrapped it in a nice little package for you, and it is super affordable. You can grab that. I'm going to put it in the show notes how you can grab that. And that literally is where to start. No matter what project you're doing, if you found yourself so frustrated by the overwhelm of choices, you browse the aisles, you browse the online stores, you can't decide on anything, you are stuck in overwhelm, and Pinterest 101 can help with that. Okay, moving on. Last week, we talked about what happens when you have started. You've made some decisions. You might have an idea of what your design aesthetic is, but you've hit a snag. You've hit some sort of roadblock that is keeping you stuck, and you're not entirely sure how to move beyond that. You're not entirely sure what to do next. Do you pivot? Do you start over? Do you get some help? What you do? And so last week's episode is for you if you're in that position. But what we're doing today, what we're doing next week, we are taking you behind the scenes of me walking you through literally where to start. I'm going through the design process in my own home as I transform my laundry room. And what I'm hoping can happen is several things. I'm hoping to teach you some new skills, some skills that are DIY skills that can really transform the spaces that you are working on if you so desire. I'm teaching you some fun ways to create art, fun ways to remediate builder grade, I don't want to say faux pas, but builder grade elements within your home that kind of elevate them to the next level, that really bring an element of design. I'm teaching you how to do a little bit of building. I'm teaching you how to understand what the the hang up was in the first place, why my laundry room wasn't serving me in the way that it was, and why I needed to work a little bit harder for me, and how I'm going to remediate what it was that I was working on. I'm going to be teaching you different ways that you can save money and even garnish just a little bit more so that you have a little bit bigger budget from where you're starting from, hopefully. I'm teaching you how to reuse materials, be resourceful, going to thrift stores to get together things, and how to pivot when you need to pivot. And how am I teaching you that? I can, of course, sit behind the mic, but I want you to be able to see. I want you to be able to join me on the journey. I want you to be able to walk with me through the process, and I'm inviting you to do that with me through my newsletter. And I'm going to be sending you links to little videos I'm sharing, I'm creating that help you understand what the project was for the day, what we're getting accomplished, what the goal is, what the process is, all the things. So if you are a part of my email list, yay, awesome. There's no action point for you. You will be getting the first email in the next couple days, and you can choose to view the video and join me on the journey or not. That's up to you. Those of you who would like to see how this process is happening, I want you to email me straight away, figandfarmathome@gmail.com, and I want you to say, Danny, I want to join you on the journey. I am loving a good before and after, and I can't wait to see how janky your laundry room looks, first of all, and what your plans are in order to transform it into a space that, honestly, this is for me. Who am I kidding? I am the one who does the laundry. I am making it efficient for the boys, but it's for me. Who am I kidding? So make sure you send me that email and say, I want to know what is going to be happening. For those of you who are joining me on this journey, I will see you in your inbox in the next couple days. See you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.